Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today we are going to talk about the utility of the blockchain. We're going to continue our conversation going through and learning about NFTs and cryptocurrency and how they affect and what they could do to the future of trading card games. First off, I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm not trying to sell you on the blockchain. I'm not trying to sell you on, I'm just having a dialogue because I do think that it's going to be part of the future and I want to learn that side of the future before it gets here. So I just want to have a discussion on the future of collecting. Secondly, I know that gas is expensive. Everyone agrees, and your comments in the comment section are not going to be revolutionary. Gas is expensive. I kind of think like the price, if you're going to think about it that way, then price the price of gas into the NFT and see, is it worth it at that point for you? But also, I believe that this is going to get less expensive as time goes on, that digital currencies, and this is already happening, not with Ethereum, but when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, it's going to fix some of the gas problems. There's already other digital currencies that you pay almost no gas with. So there's a lot of things already being worked out, and I believe in the future it's going to even be more worked out. So I know gas is expensive. I get it. We all agree on it. And anyway, let's hop in. I want to take a look at the use case of digital NFTs in the future of TCGs. I have three main points. Number one, is a digital ledger, and I want to show you how this interacts. Imagine, if you will, your favorite content creator, whoever that is, or influencer, or person on Facebook, or whoever it is that is interacting with the community. Maybe they are selling things, or whatever. You can actually hop onto a website and see all their interactions with the blockchain. You can actually see this for each individual token. I've got this Metazoo Games token here, 1245. This is something that somebody minted from Metazoo 17 days ago. You can see this all on the blockchain. This is within OpenSea. You can see they sold it to me. This is IMU 9 days ago for 0.245 Ethereum. And then it got transferred to me when they purchased it. So you can actually see the history of each individual asset on the blockchain. You can also see offers and things like that. So if somebody had made an offer, you would see a public offer here for this coin that you can then help value your other things and whatever. Now, here's the key, and this is what I think is most important. These influencers like Gary Vee, and in the future when Rudy is talking about NFTs, and if my channel grows when I'm talking about NFTs, you'll be able to actually pop up and look at the address. This is my Ethereum address, and see all the interactions that the content creators have with the digital blockchain. So this is another layer of transparency for content creators and for influencers that I think is really important. Now, before you say it, I know that somebody could make a second account. Like, for instance, you're seeing here, I have $179 in Ethereum. I am super rich, I know. But if I wanted to, I could have a second account that would have money in it. I could transfer things back and forth to the account. But you would know that because you would actually see all the interactions that I have ever done on the marketplace, and you can see if I'm just blowing smoke and pumping something, or pumping and dumping. If another content creator was pumping and dumping, you can see it all happening on the digital ledger. And so that transparency, I think, is really, really good in terms of digital collectibles. I think that's a really, really important aspect to the collectible hobby and to the NFT marketplace. People tend to say that NFTs are a pump and dump. Yeah, I don't buy that, because it's so easy to see the dump and the pump. It's so easy to click. There's so much transparency that it's so easy to see. I just don't, I don't personally like, I don't, that just doesn't do it for me. I don't personally do that. All right. The second part about this digital ledger is that it's incredibly easy to interact with and to buy and sell. If I were to sell this Metazoo Games token, which I won't because I have a complete set and I'm very proud of my complete set. I could sell it here and I could list it. If somebody had made an offer, I could just accept it. Or if I were to transfer it, I can easily transfer by hitting this button and transfer it to whatever address I want. There's no shipping, there's no fee, there is fees, sorry. There's no shipping, there's none of that kind of thing. You just pay the fee, the gas fee, which again, I think in the future when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, the Ethereum blockchain will be cheaper, but there are other NFTs, and we're going to talk about that later. There are other NFTs that are built on cheaper systems. But it's incredibly fast and easy. When I was getting all these coins, I was trading and selling the some of the original Genesis NFTs that I had, and it took me like a day to get the complete set. And when I was interacting with people, it was super easy. It was very fast. There's a level of trust that you still have to have, like in any other collectible. And because of who I am, I was able to have people transfer to me first, and then I paid them or whatever it was. There's a level of trust, but you can also then utilize OpenSea if you want like the eBay type thing where it's super safe or whatever. I actually bought most of the coins on OpenSea, but traded and transferred for Ethereum with the Genesis NFTs, a few of them. So don't worry, you can see exactly how many Genesis NFTs I still own by going to my account and looking at it, because it's so transparent. I love it. All right, so the digital ledger, that's the first kind of huge use case, is the ability to see all that stuff in the digital ledger. Now, here's the other thing. This is, I think, probably the biggest idea, and this is the second one, is a way for companies to interact with their top consumers in a meaningful way. And this is a thing that I think needs a solution in the world. Like, right now when you have a company that wants to give back to their consumers or whatever, you have to find addresses. Like if I wanted to do a giveaway on my channel, I would need to capture all of your addresses. I would need to capture all the things so that when you win the giveaway, I can send you the product. It's a physical product. It takes time. Somebody has to ship it. Somebody has to wrap it up. When I host events in, online events, and I have all those things, like all that work is work on the back end, which, time is money and it costs money. But this is, in my opinion, the main utility of something like the Metazoo Games token, where they are able to give you access to other things, both physical product, but also potentially events and all the other offerings that the company has. And you, number one, you get access to it before anybody else because you hold an NFT. So you may think that, hey, this is gatekeeping. I think of it, which is a negative approach, and there's validity to that, I'm sure. But I think of it more like having a subscription to like HBO Max or Netflix, where because you are a Netflix subscriber, you get access to the Netflix shows. You get access to those exclusive shows that nobody else gets access to. And that sucks. Like, it's not as easy. Well, it's easier. It's maybe different than walking into Blockbuster and buying or renting that movie that would have been there. But the technology changed. Netflix completely changed everything. And that is what I believe NFTs are going to do to this space. This will radically change the way that we do businesses and that the companies that we follow will do businesses. I think in the next 5 years, this is going to radically change that. It also allows companies to do things like airdrop prizes. We saw recently Metazoo, they didn't sell out of all their tokens, so they actually airdropped 100 of them to random token holders. So they were able to just randomly do a raffle, put in the token numbers that were sold, and raffle them off and give them to the other token holders. Now, the utilization about this, I think, is really cool. Think about a Flesh and Blood tournament where you register for your in-person Flesh and Blood tournament, or whatever game you're playing, Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, whatever game you're playing. It's an in-person tournament, and in the tournament software, you actually have your address, right? So your Ethereum address registers you for the tournament, and then you actually get a token. Okay, remember, gas prices are cheaper in the future. That's the idea. You actually get a token airdrop to you that is your ticket, right? And you have that in your blockchain as a, hey, this is something I did. I remember playing this tournament. You have a little folder that all of your tournaments, you can display them wherever so people can see how many games you've played and all that stuff. Anyway, so you play your game in person, in the real life, you play in person, and when you win, your wallet is airdropped a prize, some sort of coin or token that's then redeemable for physical prizes on a website. So imagine like you play a game, you win, so you get 20 Shroot Bucks. We'll call them Shroot Bucks because that's a funny joke. You get 20 Shroot Bucks and it goes to your wallet, and then on the website at, whatever, magicthegathering.com or flushandblood.com or metazoo.com or whatever, you can use your Shroot Bucks that are the coins that you earned from playing the game in the real life to then purchase prizes from the website that are shipped to you from the company. So instead of all the, it's a different logistics, but instead of the logistics of companies having to utilize all of the, the distributors for all their prize support and all that thing, it's easier. The company just manages it from the top. And then they have it built into the system that they are able to be profitable. But you as a consumer, this is the win. And again, there's a lot of things to figure out. This is not like ready to go tomorrow. But you as the consumer then get to store up your tokens instead of getting a rainbow foil extended art common. You can save your tokens to get a better prize if you continue to win. Or you could sell your tokens. You could actually, if you're talking about professional play for TCGs, you could actually sell your tokens. They would have a physical value to other people who want to collect the tokens so that they can get prizes from the prize wall. It's a digital prize wall, like at a convention or at a tournament. It works like that, but you don't have to have physical tickets. It's all handled on the blockchain, and it's all trackable, and it's all part of the whole ecosystem. I think it's a really great way for companies to interact with their top consumers in a meaningful way. All right, lastly, the last thing we're going to talk about today, this is not the last thing we're going to ever talk about NFTs, is talking about digital games. And this is the most obvious use case for TCGs. I mean, I think TCGs were built in the 1990s with the idea of the blockchain built in mind. I'm just joking. But here's a game. This is called Skyweaver, and I have not played a ton. This is still in beta. You can see I'm like at level 3. I think I've played like maybe 10 games. But Skyweaver is a digital game on the blockchain, and I'll show you some gameplay if I can in a minute. But what I want to show you here, one of the things, we'll hop to that point, is that you have physical cards that you win, and they're in your library, and you can actually buy and sell and trade these physical cards on the digital blockchain. So I could buy this silver card here, the Psyche silver card, for I think this is US dollar, $1.91. Or I could sell it for $1.51. Instantly, I can move and trade and sell my cards online. Think about Magic the Gathering arena, where if you could buy and sell and trade your cards, you would have an ecosystem of collectible cards just like you do in physical real life. And you could put limits on the cards as a company and allow yourselves to really have a digital ecosystem where you're buying, selling, and trading cards. Now, as a company, you could also have a built-in rate. So instead of paying TCG player 11% or something like that, 1 or 2% goes back to Magic the Gathering. 1 or 2% of that transaction goes back to Flesh and Blood or Metazoo or whatever it is. The company then is able to interact with the secondary market and benefit off of the secondary market in a healthy way, just like all these other people are. Okay, that's one use case of that's probably the most obvious use case of an NFT in the online, TCG world. And I get it. Like, before we get there, I get it. TCGs are meant to be played in person. I have 99% of my content is about physical cards. They're meant to be collected and held. I get it. I know. Trust me, I know. That doesn't mean that this can't also exist or that this is not going to be part of the future of TCGs in the next 5 years. Like, just because physical stuff exists doesn't mean that digital stuff can't exist. And I agree, like 99% of my content is about like actual holding physical cards, but I think that the future holds a place for this. I really believe that. If a company is going to be successful into the future long term, the world is going to become more and more digital, and so they need to have an avenue for the digital world and an avenue for the physical world, in my opinion. I really believe this is an opportunity to make something unique and creative. I don't think that this has to be just like a reskin of Magic the Gathering. Like Arena is like a reskin of Magic the Gathering on the internet. I think you can have creative ways to do this. So let's hop into like looking at a little bit of like the way that Skyweaver works. Let me see if I can actually. So man, I wish I could. Maybe I'll just see how long it takes to load up a game here. So the way that Skyweaver works, I have to download. Yeah, see, this tells you how long I played. The way that Skyweaver works, though, it's really cool. Each card has like different layers. So because you aren't like dealing with physical cards, each card is able to have like these physical layers. So right here is your kind of unit card, and it's a psyche, it's a mind unit. It's got guard, which is a mechanic. It's got lifesteal, which is a mechanic that does things. It's got a power of 3, a health of 5, just like your regular cards. When you summon it, the enemy draws a card. It has all the normal card text, right? But then it has these little things right here, which is like a second card. It's like a card that's placed on top of a card. So imagine if you had your deck of cards here and you opened it up and you drew 4 cards. And if this card right here had another, oh, this is Spring Tunic. That's nice. Let's use not an expensive card. If this card right here had another ability that could interact, so now your card does multiple things. That's essentially what Skyweaver has done. It has put multiple cards on the same card, allowing you to have different interactions with the cards in meaningful ways. It can be a hero, it can be a creature, but it can also do something like this if you spend the resource points on that side. So I think it opens up the door for more creativity, because you can't do that with the physical card. It makes it too convoluted. You can't, you can put token. You're dealing with a whole lot of other elements that make the board state a little too complex and complicated. So it allows you to open up, and I'm doing a poor job of explaining it. Maybe someday we'll play some Skyweaver, I can show you. But because of the way that the blockchain works and digital games work, it allows you to do some different things that you couldn't do in physical play. Then let's get back. So let me say this. It doesn't have to be the actual game. It could just be like a mini game. You could have a mini game. It could be, you could have the Metazoo TCG or the Flesh and Blood TCG on the side that's in physical, but then you have some sort of mini games on the blockchain that allow you to interact with the community and in the world of that game in a meaningful way on the blockchain with collectibles and other things. There's other ways to do it. It doesn't have to just be a reskin of the game. But if it is a reskin of the game, I do think that this is another really great way to encourage like professional play. If you're able to sell these cards instantly, the more you play, the more money you're going to make. It's almost like playing to earn, right? Like you're earning money. You're, as you unlock packs, you're able to actually make some money playing. And I think, obviously $1.48 is not going to do it. But like as the games progress and become more popular, there is a way for professional players. Like think about all the poor people who stream Magic the Gathering Arena for hours on end, and they have some stream income, some whatever, but like on the back end they have to find sponsorships and all that thing. Imagine if by playing they earned cards that they could then sell, and so they have a piece of this ecosystem. They have an exciting aspect that they want the game to grow. They want to make more and more content, because the more content they make, the more players that the game has, and the more people that will buy their cards as they buy, sell, and trade and earn cards in the marketplace. I think that's really, really cool. It's a really great way that you can encourage content for your trading card game that has the ability to support content creators. Metazoo has this built into their coins. If you look at a Metazoo token, I'm not sure if this is like super public yet. Let's see. Metazoo tokens. Let's see. Where's the actual? Let's see. I'll just pop it up on the blockchain. Let's see. I think this is it. So this is the token, Metazoo game token, and if you look at the inventory and the actual token, the contract. This is what I'm looking for. So if you look at the contract URL, it actually says, where is it? Something to the lines of, oh man, I did this before and I can't remember how I do it. Anyway, it says here, read contract. Anyway, it says mint card somewhere in one of these. I can't remember which one it is. It says mint card, which is really cool because what it means is that potentially, and this is not official, this is not whatever, but potentially these tokens that people earn or own and that have investment will actually be able to mint cards for a collectible card game that is on the blockchain. So you will be able to mint those cards if you're a holder of a token. Again, that's not official yet, but in one of these strings, I can't remember where it was, it had that kind of contract of mint token. So if that becomes a thing, again, you are giving the companies interacting with their top consumer in a meaningful way to kickstart an online TCG that, you could then have the cards that are also tradable, buyable, sellable, collectible, and playable on the blockchain as a game. So I think it's really cool. I think it's a really great opportunity for TCGs to interact with their consumers in a big, meaningful way, give content creators and give people who play the game ability to actually better than Arena, where you can't actually earn any money or get any return back on your investment to playing. So it's a great thing. I think it's really important. I think it's going to be in the future a big part of TCGs, and we will continue to follow that trend and see what it looks like as we make predictions about what the future could be. Just remember that things change. I'm not telling you to go out and buy any of this. I'm just telling you to be aware of it. I think you just need to be aware that this stuff exists, because it is going to be it's gonna disrupt. NFTs are going to disrupt marketplaces. I think NFTs are going to disrupt the TCG world, not just marketplace, but the whole ecosystem. It's another brand new way to interact together, and it's like social media. It changed the way that companies did things, and I think that NFTs are also going to change the way that companies do things over the next 5 years. And so I think it's important that we start to learn about it. So that's the heart of these videos, not to sell you on anything. Obviously, you know what I have, so the biases are there. But hope you guys have a great day. Remember, be kind to the people around you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and we will talk to you again next video.